This call is being recorded.
All right, perfect. So, um, this is great actually that you got the natal chart report. We can finally look into what you're packing. I definitely always enjoyed reading your chart in the live readings. Just seeing the quality of that full moon aspect that you have, which is most definitely a huge deal. I would say just straight off of how, yeah, man, you have Neptune and Uranus in Aquarius on your sun, and that's an alien construct that I've been wanting to research for a minute. I only have theories about that, and now that Saturn is going through your sign, I mean Pluto is going through your sign, and Saturn has just finished your sign. I really feel like you represent a very powerful advent in consciousness and leading that generation as a humanitarian. There's so many aspects to this that are really awesome. And we didn't even get to Pluto on your moon. That's also another really key aspect. By the way, I forgot to say, if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to mention, please don't hesitate to interrupt. You're totally welcome. Uh, but yeah, I've been wanting to do a documentary on Capricorn, especially Capricorn women born in the 90s who have Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn. And this has now led to the Aquarius level. I don't even think I'm ready to touch that yet because, right, the Capricorn and Aquarius power take at least like 30 to 40 years because it's collective. It's dealing with literally everything. And it's not really just development on an individual level, but how you are able to now incorporate this vibe for pretty much everything. So I do want to maintain that having sun on Neptune and Uranus and even Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is one of the most extraordinary supernatural aspects that I truly believe exists. And that's definitely going to be amazing to see how you not only pioneer, like you are the innovator, you are a pioneer, but it's not only going to show how you do that, but because now this is in the seventh house, this extraordinary cosmic celestial expression and awareness is towards other people as a Leo rising. So the archetype I feel with that is like Leo is the main character and Aquarius is the narrator. And one thing that I've tried to really research is the difference between the rising and the sun, where my theory is that the sun sign is more prominent than, well, they're both prominent, but like the sun sign will actually show the role, whereas the rising sign is the personality of the role, but they still could be interchangeable. So that'll be interesting. Let me know how you feel about this. But basically, I would see this as like being the narrator who is the main character. So it's like you're you will have like the main character of a play who kind of like self narrates as a part of the play, like they're the lead role, the camera's following them, but like they're breaking the fourth wall and they're narrating, right? I feel like what you represent is actually like the narrator, right? Which of course this is just an example, so it doesn't put like, but it's like you're actually aware. I feel like that's the difference between the sun in Leo and the sun in Aquarius, where the sun in Leo is still in the play, but the sun in Aquarius, you exist outside of the 3D construct. But because you got the Leo rising, it's like that voice of narration. There's the main characters, but that voice of narration is like the main character. It's a very unique concept. It's nothing you usually see in a movie. I feel like you can blend both, and I would like to know which one you resonate more with, because it could be the first example. But like as with the Leo rising being the performer on stage, you're extending your awareness so extraordinarily and extremely towards other people. Whereas I feel like the aqua rising would be this awareness of the knowledge of yourself. You're activating this knowledge towards how you're aware of it towards other people. And now the 90s version of Cancer rising and Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn in the seventh represents this supernatural rare power that only Cancer risings born in the 90s and late 80s have. But basically, due to the cardinal element of Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn, it induces the most potent supernatural and psychic phenomena through physical action. So basically, if you were to pick your nose or if someone were to take an action based on that action, you are literally gaining psychic insight from that, which is not the most linear. It's like someone picked their nose and you know they're a serial killer, but they still had to pick their nose because their action is what dragged this insight. And now the Cancer rising can feel what their psychic senses are picking up relative to this. So now when you take the advanced version of this from Leo to Aquarius, the Aquarius is so advanced, it's not preceded by action. You already know moving into it. That's the subtle difference. So whereas the Capricorn saw someone pick their nose and it's like, that person's a serial killer, before that person picked their nose, as soon as you're already seeing it, you already know, oh wow, that person's a serial killer. So like it's subtle, but the Aquarius is so much more advanced because which is very unconventional and controversial about Aquarius, which I feel like Pisces, according to mainstream science, is seen as fantasy, and Aquarius to this day is still seen as science fiction. So the fact that like Mercury that enables you to process quite directly this genius quality of knowledge, I think enables you at a supernatural level to automatically know who it is you're holding space with, which I want to once again present is very supernatural. The fact that you can literally just be aware of whoever's in your seventh house. Like right now, I would represent your seventh house and whoever you're connecting with, whether collectively, because Leo is the performer on stage. So, unlike seventh house Taurus, which would be an individual one on one, your seventh house is an entire audience, the entire collective. But now your awareness towards the seventh house is having you be aware of other people. And I would like to think what and who other people are too. So I really truly believe that Neptune and Uranus is giving you the most unconventional sense of nonlinear deduction and literally being able to know anything about somebody else. And then, of course, the moon in Sag is the understanding of the vision of your knowledge. So you actually can understand what you see that you know. And this is being able to see what you know. And I've noticed like the coolest Aquarians have Sag Moon, from Daylight to XXX Tentacion. It's the actual Aquarius signature of Aquarius, the affinity. I didn't even realize that. So Sag Moon Aquas are like the most Aquarian Aquarians out of every other Aquarius, which is a crazy sentence to say, but it's still very amazing because you literally represent the ascended understanding of knowledge. And now with Pluto and Mars, the god of war, on the moon, this extremely awakens this very extraordinary advanced sense of knowledge for other people. You're in a position to show other people the supernatural because now I believe Taurus is natural and Leo is solar, Scorpio is pure, but what I meant to say is Taurus is natural and Aquarius is supernatural. So you would represent ascended supernatural energy. And as a Leo rising, you perform creatively to show and provide this knowledge to other people. But what do you feel about that? As far as like, once again, this is awakening now with Pluto. So the conditioning society has made have undermined you tapping into this is finally, awakening, it's releasing, it's getting ready for you to reestablish this now that Saturn has strengthened the space you hold. And before I kind of finish that question, you have Virgo. So this kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Your spirit already knows, but then you can manifest receipts, even though Virgo is empty and there's no focus towards analysis, you still do have those values. So it's like you can know, and then you can produce the receipts potentially through your moon. So yeah, would you say that you literally could just know who you're talking to and then you gain proof of those details after the fact, or what's your experience with that?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel that. I've definitely experienced that with like a lot of people. I just like I know who I'm talking to, like I know who I'm holding space with, and to just know like super now, like I can feel it like awakening now, like you had mentioned, like especially with the Pluto, like I can feel it awakening. Like I have like a much like deeper channel, and just like the alien construct is like awakening. I'm just like, oh my god, like like what's happening to me?
Dude, that is why. Thank you so much for saying that too, especially deeper awakening.
Yeah.
Like I would just invite you to see yourself as like that could be like the theme too. I feel like it could play out in your music career because oh yeah, you got Taurus MC, Uranus and Jupiter are literally awakening this new level up of your career. And that theme I think is innovation. Like you might be the first type of artist to exist that is coming through. Like what you're doing is definitively pushing forward you know how innovation is, like kind of like how Facebook pushed forward the way we kind of do stuff. Like you're one of those type of people, bro. I truly believe that. I think what you're getting ready to awaken and step into is going to influence the rest of humanity, like kind of you and everyone else in that generation kind of experiences. I know Tyler Harrow is a basketball player who has like Uranus and Neptune on that sun. So I'm looking at people like y'all to see what that looks like, because this is that to me is like the next frontier of supernatural ability, quality, and out of all the alien constructs and like combinations, you're not going to see, like, other than the people born later in the 2000s with like Neptune Pisces and all that other freaky stuff, like the 2020 babies. I think you guys are in a very amazing position to prepare for your Saturn return at that. You are a builder of the new world. So that's another thing. Because were you gonna say something?
Oh no.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say it's another thing because now the square you have from Saturn to Aquarius anchors your karma with your legacy, which is a really good promise, I think, of fortune. The Seven of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus, and I think that does kind of take things very slow in that greatness takes time, but it does secure really amazing wealth, which I feel once you step into your Jupiter return, this is going to start to really accelerate that towards there. And the authority you have over value and how much integrity you have towards this determined approach towards manifesting value is what of course is going to account for this legacy. And I think the square from Aquarius innovates how well you awaken other people, but you still ground this philosophical approach towards how you don't just build castles in the sky with other people, but you take a determined approach. Either way, Saturn's going to put that in check to make sure that there is still more reality around certain goals with other people, but Aquarius is going to also stimulate Saturn to make sure it's not too stuck, too grounded. And that's where Jupiter trines the Aquarius to really expand the abundance of information that goes into what it is you know. And it's extraordinary to see that this is deepening for you. And Pluto has just barely gone into Aquarius. I really think you guys like this, like you guys are gonna be the ones that awaken that supernatural quality that everyone is going to awaken, but I think you guys are going to fully take it there. And that's going to help you in the seventh house awaken people even deeper in ways they may not even be aware that you stimulated their mind or you showed them something that might have never been seen in a certain way. And that's where the Sagittarius moon adds to the magical property of the cosmic energy that you represent. Mars in Sagittarius is this wanderlust of extreme desire that's linked with your soul and can have you act off of how amazing you feel at certain pockets. Opposite Jupiter, that's going to take this ascended understanding of your vision and be able to put it into words in a very constructive format with which you can plan off of in a 10th. But that passion links with your heart in that falls in the eighth, but's ruled by the ninth. And it's like the Sagittarius is this extreme understanding of the vision and the perception of what raw original actions will fuel your heart. So that heart's excitement that you get with other people, or that you deal with other people, that you use to show and teach authenticity, is influenced by this inner soul wisdom and vision that will align where you direct your heart. And I think that's a really great turbo nitro booster. I feel like if Venus in Aries was the accelerator, your Sagittarius magic is like the turbo booster that nitro boosts what direct and gives you that vision of how to approach an attack, expressing your creativity through your heart. And that's really cool, man, because we see outside of your rising sign, you are the golden social personality. You do have this social personality. But outside of that, you have nothing in Virgo, Libra, nothing in Scorpio, nothing in Leo, which shows that even with the social personality, there's no focus for you to be social, which is very important. Society is very unkind to individuals. It's something that I realized. I did a reading with a Pisces woman who also I think had a social soul, and like it's something that I think we're going to break through, especially with the four antisocial signs, two of which are God level, two of which are individual: Aquarius, Pisces, Aqua, and Taurus. So there's the antisocial social club. I feel like you're definitely social in the way you can express your genius. So there isn't that much need for an element of social energy because you have a social personality. But just something to keep in mind, you're not going to focus socially. So there could be pockets that draw you towards social activity, and you actively might desire the opposite, and that's totally normal, especially with your heart. Like Venus in Aries is not Venus in Libra. So you will deal with other people, like you will share your existence with others, but it's towards what you want to do. It's people following your lead. Doesn't mean you can't cooperate, doesn't mean you don't want to cooperate, but it's just something to honor in case you realize, especially with the North Node, you're challenged to do more of your own thing with the right people. Okay. And or people who align or follow your lead. I also don't have any social energy. I have South Node in Leo, and I have the DC in Scorpio. So like the last thing I really focus on doing is going out, is socializing. My Mars is in Aries. I desire to do the opposite, literally. But it's something that I want to teach because people with majority Taurus, Aries, Aqua, Pisces, they're misdiagnosed. They're seen as antisocial personality disorders. And in some cases they can be if it's not necessarily balanced, but a lot of it is just a misunderstanding of the potential for people to just not really want to focus on that. Now, a lot of your values and attitude are social. So that's an extension of your personality. And I think it's going to give you the best of both worlds. But seeing that you are, collectively social, I would say this gives you as with the social personality, like a social collective entity, um, honoring the sun sign. So that's beautiful. And this individual karma puts you in a position to come into this grounded, wealthy success based on what you manifest once again individually. Then, if we talk about your North Node in Cancer, you're taking the resources of your behavior, and this is helping you really dive down into the path of sincerity that unlocks your spirituality and spiritual beliefs. So, this sets up interesting dynamics. I always like to say that the North Node in the 12th and 6th house don't have karma. Does everyone have karma? Yes. But when we start to analyze the nature of your path, clearly you're a humanitarian. Like clearly we know you're like an alien god wizard who's a main character. So when we now analyze the context, it almost looks to see that you didn't come here for yourself. I mean, everyone does, but I feel like you came here to assist humanity. Hence why you've progressed into Pisces and you've become this ascended master. So that means that normally it's not uncommon to see North Node in the 12th or 6th house people. You guys are really here to help assist and serve the development of other people's behaviors and routines. In that, with the South Node 6th or falling in the 5th in Cap, you help unlock integrity in people's lifestyle and behavior. Like you apply this knowledge you have and are aware of other people so that this can help them live the right life. Like you help straighten and empower the integrity with which someone lives their life so that they can move into the direction they feel right believing in. You help unlock the true belief in people's spirituality and how it feels right. But in order for it to feel right, they have to have integrity in the way they live. And this can make this a very misunderstood martyrs type destiny because the North Node in Cancer in the 12th is really sorting through unconscious habits individually within others, but also feeling this sense of transcendent belief that will be super nonlinear. And so you need the logical element of Capricorn as a basis to dive deep into those waters. But I feel like as an Aqua sun versus if you were like a Virgo sun with this, because you're now outside of time and space, your awareness of this is going to enable you to help align sincere behaviors in others who live the life that feels right to them, but also bring into account what is getting in people's way, which is just, I think, a surface level basic interpretation of this North Node. I think there's even deeper layers and nuances that are also attached to this as well, which can influence very greatly how people develop their own unique techniques and abilities relative to this, especially with Venus that T squares these nodes and will challenge how you balance your heart on either side of these quests. Of course, the South Node will really denote this gift of organization and being able to sort out people's behavioral patterns and align them once again with integrity. Whereas your soul with Chiron um, now enables your soul to be a vessel of this ascended healing and extreme fire healing, which can really break down people vulnerably. But once again, also through your heart that passionately expresses this, holds this space for awakening, where I feel like your soul awakens the vision of this supernatural for other people. So even seeing that this is in the seventh, it's like you're leading this role to perform this extraordinary wisdom and knowledge to awaken other people, to guide other people. And that's amazing to see that you're going to be able to do this through your art and your creativity and everything that you love. And I mean, your energy is contagious. I think it's amazing how you really hold space literally for the collective. And it'd be interesting to see, what you do with that and how you move forward with that. But yeah, our reading. Did you have any questions at all?
No, not that I can think of.
Beautiful.
It's amazing, like it's beautiful.
All right. Well, I'm going to share you this through WeTransfer. You're going to get an email from WeTransfer to access the recording. And you have a blessed week.
Oh, thank you. Is this going to be posted on your YouTube?
Only with your permission.
Yes, you have my permission.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. That's what's up. All right, bro. Well, once again, you stay blessed as always, and we'll keep in touch.
Yes.
All right. I'll upload it right now. It'll probably be scheduled for the next few days.
All right, perfect.
Cool beans.